fine. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Do look step here. Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, just run out. Okay. Ready?
Having just watched this movie recently, it's clear that this was a very tried and true movie, having some jump scares along the way, which is to be expected from a movie like this one. I will say the creature, or the boogeyman for the sake of the movie, looked extremely realistic and the cast did well reacting to it when of course it truly wasn't there.
Very good. Okay, we'll do one more. We'll do one more where you do the little... Okay.
Today we're going behind the camera to show just how they put this film together, from the boogeyman himself, where the story came from, and what drew Chris Messina, who plays Dr. Will Harper, to the script.
Told you it could be killed.
And before we get into more of these moments, today's trivia question: Sophie Thatcher stars in the scary film as Sadie. Who is she most known for? Leave your guesses in the comments down below and stick around till the end of the video to find out if your answer was correct.
That's one.
So if you haven't heard, the Boogeyman isn't a character that was made up on the spot, obviously the creature being made up in the 15th century, but this specific story from the Boogeyman came from Stephen King, a short story he created in 1978.
Like readying yourself, steering yourself, and then kind of the last beat as you contact the camera is like you ready. You've become the badass. Okay, and action.
With Rob Savage's The Boogeyman, some may have noticed that the film is not too faithful to the beloved Stephen King short story it is based on. For starters, King's protagonist, Lester Billings, only shows up for a few minutes.
Okay, so let's get Michael in. See if we can do a more sideways position. Okay, that's awesome. Ready? 3, 2, 1, flash! Let's cut.
Instead, the movie follows two new characters, Sawyer, played by Vivien Blair, and Sadie, played by Sophie Thatcher, sisters who become targets for the monster. That's because Savage's The Boogeyman is not a direct adaptation of King's short story, it's actually a sequel.
I just have to look at Chris and Viv, and I already feel for them so much and love them so much that when I see them in such a heightened, vulnerable, scared state, I kind of go to that place that Sadie goes to, where she wants to go mother mode. She wants to take care and like fight the boogeyman.
As great as King's The Boogeyman might be, making a feature-length film with two men talking in a psychiatrist's office would be impossible. That's why Savage's movie turns Lester's story into the introduction for a sequel.
That she can be bouncing around and then just switch like that, and it creates such a level of professionalism on the set because everyone has to rise to her level, you know, and be as good as she is.
Doing a blinking contest.
Okay, I think I'm ready this time.
Okay,
Right.
3, 2, 1.
You're a worthy opponent.
Now that we go into Rob Savage's vision for The Boogeyman, as he was the director of the project, a week after he worked on Host, he was sent the script for The Boogeyman, saying, "I got sent the script, the Beck and Woods script, and signed on to develop it and work with the new writer to get it made." We actually got the green light for Boogeyman just when we were finishing up Dashcam. He continues on saying, "The structure is the thing that remains the most from Beck and Woods' draft, and I think they did such a great job of cracking how to take the short story that's basically just a scene, it's a two-hander, and turning it into something that deserves to be a 90-minute feature."
Sophie's a big horror fan, so she got it straight away.
She's the most committed actor I've ever worked with. What she's doing in this movie is on the level of someone like Toni Collette
in Hereditary, just carrying the whole movie on her shoulders every single day.
Is there something in there?
No, she's just being dramatic.
Oh my God!
They came up with this idea of basically taking the short story and making that Act 1, making that the inciting incident that sets everything in motion.
I've wanted to work with Chris for so many years. He's such a soulful, wonderful actor. Every moment in the movie that could feel kind of familiar or a bit cliche, he'd always find this beautiful way to breathe life and authenticity into it.
This was the first movie I've done where I was the old man on the set.
But real quick, make sure you guys check out our Instagram page, linked down in the description. There's a ton of interview moments and memes, so make sure you check it out and give us a follow. Starting as the story with Lester, it allows it to be the opening and the rest follows. Creators and writers had struggles with creating this short story that initially takes place only in the therapist's office and provides more broad detail on what happens and what happens after they leave the office.
It's more about getting a moment of stillness.
Yes.
Just between you and this thing.
Before the rip.
Before the rip.
Got
Yeah,
it.
the rip kind of can break us out of that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
My character, though he may look, move, speak a little differently than he does in the short story, in our film serves the exact same function.
So what they did to help convey the broader sense of the story they were telling here was semi-change Lester from what some may have known him from the short story. While Rob Savage talks about the essence of jump scares and why some work and some don't, he talks briefly on a couple of examples like walking into a closet and jumping out real fast, putting a musical stab on it, pretending it's a jump scare because it really never works. And there has been moments like this in the film. But the one that I did enjoy the most, that at least built up tension, was when Sawyer Harper was playing video games at night with just the TV on, and with the game she was playing, she used it to her advantage to give sparks of light in a sense to the room to scan her surroundings, allowing us to briefly see the boogeyman walking across the ground.
I think crafting a good jump scare is about understanding what the audience is expecting from you. So putting the audience in a situation where they feel like they know the roadmap of how you're going to get there. You know, it's like having the bad version would be somebody opening a mirror cupboard and then closing it and someone's behind them. You know, it's amazing how kind of like, how much of an understanding audiences have of the language of horror.
Going into the monster itself, the whole point of a horror movie is to scare its audience. However, the latest Stephen King adaptation of The Boogeyman apparently delivered one moment that worked so well that it had to be changed. According to director Rob Savage, the reveal of the movie's monster was so scary for audiences that their reaction drowned out some dialogue that immediately followed and led Savage to making a few changes. Saying, quote, "The first time you see the creature, the audience screams so loud, and then immediately start talking with their neighbors and chattering, that they completely missed the next lines, so we had to recut it and build in 45 seconds of padding, just so they didn't miss any vital information." And as far as the answer to our trivia question, Sophie Thatcher hasn't had a long filmography over the years, having only started acting in 2015, but she is most known for her television role of Natalie in Yellow Jackets. Above all, this was a really good adaptation to the Stephen King film, and as it was initially meant to release strictly on Hulu, test screenings of it proved that it would be good enough for theatrical release. As of now, it is available on Hulu, however.
And 3, 2, 1, action!
It actually is pretty scary because it's a mirror and it's reflecting reality back on us, which is the scariest of all.
Cut!
Made it.
But we wanted to turn this around to you guys. What are your thoughts on this film, and was it everything you expected it to be? Let us know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Make sure you're subscribed with notifications on for more videos just like this. That's it for today though. We'll see you all next time with a brand new video. Bye guys!